Howdy, y'all. What is going on? I've had a crazy couple days. How you doing? Today is going to be a back and bicep day, and you're like, well, shouldn't it be chest? Or actually, it should be legs. Yeah, my schedule got messed up. I've already taken 2 rest days this week, so, on Monday next week, though, you guys won't see a video because I'm going to take a rest day on Monday because I want to get back to my normal split, so instead it's going to be Tuesday back, Wednesday chest, Thursday legs, and then repeat. So, and then the next week after that, it's going to be fully back to normal. But, just to let you guys have a heads up. But these next couple days will be back bicep and then chest and tricep and shoulders. So, but for today, like I said, it's back and bicep. We're going to be hitting a bunch of rows, a bunch of pull downs, maybe pull ups. Just really depends on, what we're with and what we're dealing with today. And also, we have the lady today. She's super duper excited for this back and bicep. But the whole thing with back is and even just a lot of like muscle groups like legs or triceps or biceps even, or whatever, except chest. Chest you can isolate a bit more on each, like upper or lower pec, whatever not. But like what I'm trying to get to is when you're doing back, what I essentially learned is if you do pull downs, you're doing it for the width, and if you do rows, you're doing it for the thickness, right? But don't get too overcomplicated on hitting like the very specific muscle groups, right? Like rhomboids or something, right? The whole thing about back is there's so many muscle groups, and you can hit your back so many ways. You can definitely isolate a little bit more of a muscle group, but it's like, I just purely only want to hit my lats. Well, you're probably going to get your rear delts involved and your, traps a little bit involved. So don't overcomplicate things and make things way harder on yourself, because that's when you lead to just kind of overcompensating certain things, or you're just kind of doing a little bit too much, or you're taking too long on certain lifts because you're trying to do this perfect setup. Now, if you do an exercise that, like, let's say, like it's like what I did, it was like one of the best times I've ever felt my back work, and it was when I was in Myrtle Beach, actually. I felt my whole like upper back, mid back work on these cable rows where I just had the D handles and I really squeezed my back in, and I just had like the bench press where the seat was up. That was like the best I ever felt my back, and I might do that today. Probably not, actually, just because it was a closer cable together instead of like the far out like the gym I'm going to today only has. But don't try to be like, okay, I'm going to hit my lats only on this, my upper back. You can try to bias things, right? But don't get upset if you're also hitting other muscle groups while you're doing it. And if you are hitting other muscle groups, why would you hate that? You're getting a little bit more out of those muscle groups too. Now, that's not to say, oh, you're hitting your biceps on something and, you're trying to hit back, but you're hitting your biceps. Yeah, maybe use a different grip, like instead of holding it like this, hold it like this, or use straps. That's a different circumstance, right? But if your main thing is you want to hit back, and you're hitting back, and you're hitting mid-back, and you feel your lats also, don't complain about that, right? One of my weak points on my back is, I think it's the thickness, because I have good width, right? But my thickness, compared to that, it's not crazy lacking, but it's worse. So I would just like to hit that mid-back more, right? And the thickness of that. So when I do like one arm, like unilaterally lat rows with a D handle, I make sure I get that squeeze on my lat, and then I begin on the way down, it's all my lats, but then it converts to my upper back. That is completely fine with me, and I actually prefer that because that's one of the more other times where I really feel my upper back activating, right? So like I just said, don't overcomplicate things, right? Like with biceps or triceps, I want to hit the long head of my tricep only on this exercise. Just do tricep push downs, bro, or tricep overhead extensions. You're going to hit your tricep regardless, and they're going to grow. You're usually not a dude who has no long head and has only lateral head. That's like not likely, or vice versa. But you can have lacking muscle groups, right? Like you can have crazy tricep development, barely any chest development, and that could be from various things like genetics, injuries, whatever not. But you're not going to have where, the muscle group that you're doing, your short head is a lot bigger than your long head on your bicep. So don't overcomplicate things. Just hit them hard and heavy, and you're going to grow at the end of the day. So we're going to get in here, get this pump, get this thing going, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, so first set we have is a mid-back row. As you can see, we're going to be flaring our elbows out, really retracting our shoulder blades on the way back, getting a deep stretch on the way back, and making sure really just control the weight on the way up and on the way down, making sure we hold for a second on the way back. Now we're going to be focusing on our lats here. Make sure we're turning heavy and hard once again. But we're going to be doing one set of these and then 2 sets of an overhand pull down. But this mainly targets the lower lats just because it's a more undergrip. But make sure you're not squeezing with your biceps like a lot of people do.
What are you doing?
Now we're going to be working on our upper traps right here. Making sure you really just squeeze at the top. And as you can see right here, this was just really to activate my traps. And then I'll go to normal shrugs as you see just then. But train heavy and hard, we're going to be doing one set of these. Now we have 2 sets of this bicep curl right here, this preacher curl. Really going to be hitting mainly the short head of the bicep, but really just explode at the top, get a good squeeze at the top, and get a good stretch at the bottom, keeping an inch or 2 all the way above, kind of just fully stretching out. And then when you get to the farther reps in to your set, then you kind of go to like the, more deep of the stretch, but train to failure. Only difference here is we're going to just be going the same way on the first thing, but then we're going to be doing a drop set the second set.
I gotta shake.
Now we got heavy hammer curls this set. We're going to be doing 2 sets of this. And make sure you're doing it cross body and a little bit of in front of you. Just, kind of go what you want and go to failure once again. This was just kind of for fun, but it's a good exercise to do if you have a partner. It gets you a really good bicep pump, but make sure you train to failure. Kind of just do 10 reps, and then bang it out. And then until you can't really do 10 good reps, you kind of go back down to 8 reps. And then when you can't really do 8 good reps, you kind of go to 5. And then after you do 5, you just go to like 3 or 2 or whatever you want to do. But just bang them out till failure. Yeah, it gets really hard. You get a sick pump by doing this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Two, 3, 4, 5, 1, yeah, 8, 6, 2, 1, 7, and then we'll go to 5s after this. Okay, now you do 5. 3, 4, 5. You do 5. 4, 5, and then we'll do 3 after this. 3, 2, and then we're done. 3, 1, 2. Oh, okay. Oh.
All right, y'all. We're done. We had a great time, especially at the end. We did that, I guess you could say burnout set, but, oh my gosh. But it's great to have somebody to go with for one of those reasons also. Not only because you can motivate each other. 2, you got someone you can yap there if you want to yap a little bit. 3, you can help spot each other. And 4, you can do fun things like that, because getting a pump by yourself, it's fun, but compared to doing it like that, we're doing it with like back to back. For one, I think it's honestly more efficient to get a pump that way, and 2, it's just fun, I think, in my opinion. But overall today, we're gonna be just chillaxing now. I think me and my baby girl, my fiance, we're gonna be having a movie night, and I don't know what we're gonna really want to watch. What are we gonna watch?
We'll have to look.
I know we talked about Spider-Man movies. Yeah, so other than that, y'all, I mean, you just seen what it's like to get back into the routine of things once again, compared to where I was, which was a hotel, and then compared to where I am now at my home gym, you could say. I got the intensity done at both spots. No matter your equipment, no matter what you do, you can still get it in, right? And honestly, in my opinion, I got this thing in my mouth, but I honestly get, I'm not gonna say I do a more intense workout when I'm in a hotel or gym or something, but in a smaller gym setting, I feel like I can push myself maybe a little harder sometimes, like I can lock in more, because I don't get overstimulated with how many things there are to do, right? Or there's more people, right? Or there's less people, I mean, in a hotel gym. Because I have ADHD, so I'm not like constantly checking my surroundings, but if something is happening in the gym, I'm like looking over there, unless I'm like a 1 rep PR max set, whatever not. But with a hotel gym, when you only have dumbbells and a cable machine with a pull-up bar or something, you have a very limited amount of things. So you're going to do just this one exercise. So you're not thinking about the next thing or anything. you're just doing that and that alone, right? So just take that in the context of you can get it done anywhere, at any time, any place. Just as long as you push yourself, you're gonna be fine. And that semi is being stupid. I don't know why he went, but that was also just my live ADHD right there. But I hope you guys have a very blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.